So hi everyone, my name is Ignacio Blanquer. I work at the Technical University of Valencia and I have been involved in different initiatives of e-science and grid in Spain. So I want to make a presentation about the status of e-science in Spain from the perspective of the Spanish Network for E-Science. So first I want to start describing the National Grid Initiative in Spain, which is called ES-NGI. ES-NGI operates jointly with the Portuguese NGI, which constitutes the Hypergrid Federation. Hypergrid comprises 21 centers that jointly give more than 20,000 cores, and it also involves more than 100 registered users. The Spanish NGI was started in 2010 with the mission of supporting Spanish researchers through distributed computational infrastructure and to foster the internationalization of the researchers in Spain through virtual research centers and competence centers. The main objective of SNGI is to facilitate the scientific development through a e-science model. There are different tools and services that have been created and deployed to gather a wide variety of profiles and needs. All this activity is integrated and aligned in the framework of EGI to maximize impact. In order to access the infrastructure, we offer a portal in which users can register and apply for access to the infrastructure, to the Spanish and Portuguese infrastructure. If you have a competitive project that is approved in any national code, you will have direct access to this infrastructure. If not, you can even access through the evaluation of our admission committee. But Hypergrid has been supporting the international VOs quite strongly since its creation. In these graphs, you can see the evolution in the last 3 years on the provision of resources to non-LHC and LHC main VOs. As you can see, there is an increase that in general comes from 130 million of CPU hours in 2011 to almost 200 million of CPU hours in the last year. Despite that there are a big part of the resources dedicated to LHC, it's important to know that a third of the infrastructure is provided by centers that are not in the LHC experiments, and about 15, even 20% of the support of the research has been done to researchers in other disciplines. Hypergrid has also put a lot of resources to support the EGI federated cloud activity. So EGI Fed Cloud is a strategic answer of EGI for a changing landscape in which resource providers are requested to have a more flexible way for providing resources, and also users are demanding a better way to configure their infrastructure for their needs. So the added value that the EGI Federated Cloud has is the integration of multiple IIS providers as a single resource provider using standards. Spain contributes with 5 centers that in total provide around 3,500 cores from OpenStack and OpenNebula. Another important support from the National Grid Initiative has been the communication with the Spanish National Network for E-Science. This network, this jointly work, is a communication channel with users in which infrastructure providers and users join together and learn from each other. And it shares a communication platform and a mailing list for sharing experiences and sharing news and opportunities of collaboration. A new network has been recently requested for funding, and we will see the results in the future. So then, this network, this Spanish Network for E-Science, comprises about 1,000 researchers and more than 100 research groups from 76 institutions. It has a dynamic structure and has been increasing steadily since its creation. In the frame of the Spanish Network for E-Science, we create several calls for identifying new pilots and applications, as well as research groups that could be considered as support groups for the developing of new applications. After the 2 calls that we celebrate, we identified 25 applications, which are mature projects, and 26 pilots, which are early stage applications, as well as 12 support groups. Most of them already filled the information and exchanged their view with the rest of the partners, and 35 of them were new initiatives that were not already being funded or at least developed in the frame of previous projects in infrastructure. As you see from this pie chart, there was a quite balanced distribution of different disciplines, being biomedicine and engineering the 2 most prominent ones, and including other more activities that have been with a high importance in Spain, like fusion or computational chemistry. It is also important to outline that the researchers from Spain and Portugal are the ones that are consuming more resources on transnational basis. It seems clearly that this can only be possible through the participation of those researchers in international cooperation, international BOs. So it demonstrates the good potential and the willingness of researchers in Spain and Portugal to use the infrastructure at an international level and the benefit of this international cooperation for them. This is also proven in the high level of participation of Spanish institutions in projects related with infrastructures funded by the previous FP7. In the 7th call of this FP7, you can see that in the all the most important infrastructure projects, there was an important participation from Spanish institutions, like in EGI Spire, like IMI, EGAE, EDGI, Stratoslab, Venus C, or PRAISE. This participation has been continued in the following calls, like in call 9, and in this call there started to be a clear importance of the participation of Spanish institution in transcontinental consortium to promote the use of e-infrastructures all over the world. In the last call that was published, the 10th call, was also this big presence of Spanish institutions in European projects, and it's important to outline that this transcontinental cooperation, it's also reinforced like in projects like U-Brazil Cloud Connect, led by Spain, and Chains Red. So finally, I want to conclude insisting that Spain has an excellent position in e-science at the international level, both at the level of the infrastructure and the level of the users and their applications. There's a large community of scientific experts and technological experts that are willing to cooperate in the development of application, that Spain is a major partner in international collaboration, as an important focus on the federated clouds activity. The access to infrastructure is open, it's easily accessible through the admission criteria that we have in our website, and the access to international infrastructure has seen by our researchers as a good opportunity to enhance development and to enhance cooperation at the international level. And I will be happy to answer by email the questions.